Hey everybody, it's Benny One, and I'm back at you with another Harry Potter and the Wizarding World review. Everybody, we're moving on to the Fantastic Beasts trilogy of movies that they've put out so far, everybody. So, this first Fantastic Beasts movie came out in 2016, 5 years after the end of the amazing Harry Potter movie run that they had for 10 years and 8 movies, everyone. We got a new movie and a new story, basically, because this is kind of based off of the Fantastic Beasts book that J.K. Rowling kind of created along with the Harry Potter books. It was just a little book about magical, mystical type creatures that live in the wizarding world of Harry Potter. And she thought she could write a screenplay and make a movie out of it, and they were like, yeah, sure, let's check it out. Warner Brothers was not going to turn her down because Harry Potter is a cash cow for them, for one thing. The Harry Potter name alone, I think, is what drove this first Fantastic Beasts movie to have a very successful box office run. It did over $800 million in the box office. So the Harry Potter name, I would say, probably helped carry this first installment of the Fantastic Beasts movie. So yes, J.K. Rowling wrote the screenplay and everything for this movie. It was kind of a new thing. There wasn't any books to really tie this to and fall back on, and for people to really judge it on them leaving things out of a book because there's no book. So it was kind of a fresh, clean slate, and I actually kind of enjoyed that about this movie. It was something new that I hadn't read before, and it was just a movie I was going to, no expectations really, and and I wasn't going to walk into this movie expecting to get a Harry Potter movie, because this is not Harry Potter. These Fantastic Beasts movies are not the Harry Potter movies. They're not. They take place in the wizarding world of Harry Potter, albeit about 70 years beforehand, because this first movie takes place in 1926, which I love the setting of this movie. And this movie, once again, is directed by David Yates. That's right, everybody. He directed the last 4 Harry Potter movies. He returns to direct the Fantastic Beasts franchise, everybody, and he directed the next 2 after this, too. So David Yates is well known in the Harry Potter movie franchise, everyone. So he directed, J.K. Rowling's involved. We should have a pretty damn good movie. So let's dive into this. So this movie stars Eddie Redmayne, or whatever I think is how you say his name. He plays Newt Scamander, everyone. I love Newt. I think Newt is a great new character that J.K. has created. He is very weird. He's kind of socially awkward to a point. I have a son who has autism, and I would venture to say that Newt may be somewhat autistic. He shows things that do that, so I can relate with that because my 6-year-old son has autism, and I just think he's a quirky, weird, fun, light-hearted character, and he really has some deep emotional stuff that we learn about more in the other movies, but he does a very good job of hiding them and not showing them, but you can see them. And that's something that I think the actor Eddie really does a great job of showing on his face, the emotions and everything, without actually talking about it in this first movie. He shows that through his face. And I love all of his crazy, fantastical beasts that he has in this suitcase. Because in the wizarding world, you can have this tiny little thing and a tent, and you can go inside of it, and it's massive and everything. And his suitcase it's where he keeps all of his fantastic beasts. And that part in the movie when they first go down in there, I love that shit. I eat that up. I think it's one of the best parts of this movie when he's showing Jacob, who's played by Dan Fogler. Fantastic. He's a muggle or non-magic, or no, I can't remember. They don't call them muggles because this movie takes place in New York City. It's in America. And that's another thing that I found interesting about this movie is we get to see the wizarding world in America in this first movie, which I think is great. We didn't get to see that in the Harry Potter movies. It always takes place in the United Kingdom and everything, because that's where they're all at. But this time around, Newt, went to Hogwarts, and he gets a blessing from Dumbledore, who's not in this movie. They mention him. He's not in this one. He does show up, obviously, in the next 2 movies. But he gets a blessing from Dumbledore, who is the professor. I'm pretty sure he's the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, because he's in that classroom in the next 2 movies. He gets a blessing from him to go find and study all these magical, fantastic beasts. And the movie starts out with him coming to America, no pun on that. But yes, he's coming to America. He shows up and he accidentally bumps into freaking Jacob Kowalski, who is just a normal guy, non-magic guy. And that's because the Americans don't call them muggles. They call them non-magic or no-mag or something like that. They have a different name for them. And their rules are different too. Like, the wizarding community in America really wants to hide from the muggles. I'm going to call them muggles. It's not what they call them in this movie because they're in America, but they want to hide. They don't even want to, exist, basically. So, and Newt even says that. He's like, you guys have, ass backwards rules when it comes to muggles and, everything. And I love that because I kind of agree with him. I really think they do. But him and Jacob run into each other at this bank because Newt's briefcase, there's this little tiny creature in there that loves shiny things like coins and gold and necklaces and diamonds. And the little shit always gets out. And that's what starts this adventure off. And that's how Jacob and Newt end up running into each other, is at this bank. So the thing that's cool about Jacob's character is he's just a guy that's at work. He wants to open a bakery, so he's going to get a loan. He's us. That's the thing, is they use this character to take us on a ride and learn about this magical world with wizards and everything. And he gets exposed to all of this stuff when he goes down into Jacob's suitcase or Newt's suitcase and everything. It's just, he is a great character to have in this movie and take us as the audience who is, we know about the magic and all this stuff, but we're going on this ride of him discovering all this stuff. And I think it's one of the best things about the movie, him and Newt's relationship too. Newt, the guy that played Newt is Eddie. Newt and Jacob's freaking relationship and the banter and everything. It's awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. And we have a few other people, of course, we have to introduce. We have Catherine Waterson. She plays Tina. She used to be an Auror for the American wizarding hierarchy, but she screwed up too many times and she got dropped down in duties and stuff. So we get introduced to her. Her and Newt kind of likes her. It's a thing that gets built up throughout the movie. Ezra Miller is in this as Credence, and he is a very disturbed young man in this movie, man. Let me tell you. And I know there's a lot of shit going on with Ezra Miller. I'm just talking about a movie that he's in. That's it. I'm not going to talk about the shit that's going on with him because I hope it's not all true. But if it is, whew, what a bad person. And then Allison Sadol plays Queenie. Love me some Queenie in this movie. I think she is great. And Jacob, immediately when he meets Queenie, you can just tell, man, he's just starstruck and just head over heels. This looks like an angel that I want to fall in love with. You can just tell right away. And then Colin Farrell, everybody, plays Percival Graves, everyone. And he also plays somebody else in this movie, Grindelwald. That is correct, everybody. This is the movie that at the very end of the movie, it gets revealed that he was Grindelwald the whole time. And Johnny Depp is actually Grindelwald, because when they uncover his disguise that he has, he actually is Grindelwald, and it ends up being Johnny Depp. I'm going to save all that for the next movie. So, and of course, the third movie and all the shit that happened with Johnny Depp because of Amber Heard. We'll talk about that in the next 2 movies. So, but yes, this first movie, I think does a fantastic job of setting up this location in New York City in the mid 1920s. And Newt, it basically, the whole point of the movie is Newt has to go and catch a bunch of his fantastic beasts that escaped from this case and get them back in the case. But on the other side part, another part of the movie is there is this obscurus creature thing that is very deadly, and it's dark and everything, and it's causing all these problems in New York City, and all the muggles are scared and freaked out, not quite sure what's going on. So it's kind of a little mystery that's building throughout the movie, and that's what Colin Farrell's character Graves is really trying to uncover, because he wants to use it to his advantage, because by the end of the movie we find out he's Grindelwald. So, but that's basically the gist of the movie. I mean, it's just Newt going out and trying to catch all his fantastic beasts, and then he kind of gets wrapped up and involved with the Graves thing, and then Tina, works for the Ministry of Magic for the Americans. Like, she tries to arrest Newt, for Christ's sakes, at first, and that's the thing, like, the American Ministry of Magic have all sorts of crazy strict rules when it comes to the wizarding world thing, and I love that Newt points out that, like, your guys' rules are so ass backwards. I'm sorry, I know I said that already, but I just love that shit. Like, that they're more laid back, and he's from the Harry Potter side of this world, and I think most of us that watch this movie would agree. And I will say that if we're going to talk about some negatives, there is a few pacing issues in the movie. There most definitely are some editing issues that blaringly stick out, like, in a few parts of the movie. But overall, I really think this first Fantastic Beasts movie is pretty damn entertaining. And if you go into it not expecting to see another Harry Potter movie, I really think you can get some pretty damn good enjoyment out of this. I think it's fun. It's pretty lighthearted at times. It hits some emotional stuff, especially towards the end with Jacob and Queenie. Like, wow. And like I said, Newt, like, there's an emotional side to his character that they don't really show a lot of in this, but you can read it on Eddie, the actor's face playing Newt. You can totally read that there is a sadness in his past that they will dive into in the next movie. Yeah, I think it's a fun movie and a great addition to the wizarding world of Harry Potter. And they planned on making 5 of these movies after this one. We did get 3. Who knows if we'll get 2 more. So this movie did good in the box office too, and that's why we did get another 2 movies. So I am going to give Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the first one in this trilogy of movies so far, I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10. I think it's a fun movie. I love Newt. I love Jacob. I think the characters in this movie are pretty damn good. So an 8 out of 10, everyone, for Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I hope you guys enjoyed that review. I thank you for watching. And I'll be catching you on the tube later, because I have spoken.